Hi students, I'm Sonia from Vidya Guru, starting a new session on current affairs. This is going to be the second part for the month of June 2023. So the session is going to be significant. I always say that. The questions I've selected and actually I've brought those questions for you. The questions are super significant. Believe me, after watching the session, you will realize the same. If you like the session, do press the like button for sure. Share the video with those friends who are preparing for any competitive exam. Try to subscribe the channel if you have not till now. Do press the bell icon along with that. That is how you will receive notifications of all the exam relevant videos which we upload. You guys can make out that I am going to converse with you. I'm going to deliver the entire session in complete English medium. If you are comfortable with the language, that is alright. You can keep watching the session. But if you are not able to understand English well, there's a Hindi session in the playlist. You can actually watch that too. We record such sort of complete English medium sessions for our students from South India, from Northeast India, like the students from Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, those students who are in Manipur, Assam, who are not very well versed with Hindi. We record such sort of complete English medium sessions for them. Otherwise, I told you that if you are comfortable, you can keep watching the session in English medium. Let's start from here on. I am going to deliver the session in a topic-wise manner. Our current affairs are delivered in topic-wise manner to actually make you believe that that is how you can learn things better. And you'll actually ultimately realize it. Latest appointments is the topic. You are watching the second part for the month of June 2023. So second part of current affairs, we are beginning with that session. Number one topic is latest appointments. You can see that significant people are there on the screen. Their photos are there. And why I actually bring those photos along. That is how you can relate their faces with their names. And if you continue watching them often, you will be able to keep their names in your brain forever. And the first point is RBI's Deputy Governor Swaminathan Janakiraman. Swaminathan Janakiraman. He has become the new Deputy Governor of RBI. So RBI's Deputy Governor Swaminathan Janakiraman. When you look at the next point, it is new Prime Minister of Finland. New Prime Minister of Finland will actually see that, we have signed a few pacts with Finland also, and that will be discussing it in the, subsequent part of the video. Here I'm actually referring to the Prime Minister of Finland. His name is Petteri Orpo, and he is from National Coalition Party. The important part is his party. You must be thinking that everybody talks about the name of the Prime Minister or President. Why do you focus on the parties? Because such questions are asked in the exam. You may have written the exams prior to that. You are aware that the names of the parties are also asked. You are going to skip this sort of minute detail, but that's quite important. Learn that and write it carefully along with that. The first question was RBI's Deputy Governor. The second is Finland's Prime Minister. His name is Petteri Orpo, and he is from National Coalition Party. New Raw Chief Ravi Sinha. New Prime Minister of Greece, Kyriakos Mitsotakis. That's the name of the Prime Minister of Greece. He is from New Democracy Party. The party is significant. New Chairman of Steel Authority of India, SAIL, Amrendu Prakash. New Chairman of SAIL, Steel Authority of India, Amrendu Prakash. Quick revision. Probably you'll be able to retain it this way. RBI Deputy Governor Swaminathan Janakiraman. New Prime Minister of Finland, Petteri Orpo, National Coalition Party. New Raw Chief Ravi Sinha. New Prime Minister of Greece, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, and he is from New Democracy Party. Steel Authority of India Chairman Amrendu Prakash. Let's move to the next topic. Now, India in focus. That's the topic, India in focus. Let's see what is happening, where the things will be important, which are going to be there in your exam for sure. Let's start from there. And we are starting with the Gender Gap Index. And what is that? It is Global Gender Gap Index, not among the states. I'm referring to global, that means referring to all the countries. 146 participating nations were there, out of which India stood on 127th. So India was ranked 127th, which is quite far. You understand that. If 146 countries were there, out of which India is on 127th, it does not mean that India has better gender gap. No, it's not that. Gender gap, how many women, how many females on the males, that is the gender gap. That is what we believe, that if it is less, that is how such nations remain on top. Iceland has less gender gap, that is why it is on top. Second number Norway, third is Finland. So these are the three nations which remained on top in gender gap index. So how many females on males, that is what gender gap is all about. See, there are three kinds of important questions which can be there in your exam if you refer to any index or report. Index or report, that means the organization which is publishing that report, that organization. If the rank of India is mentioned, and out of how many countries, that can be asked, but very rarely, slim possibility. Rank of the country, that means our country number one rank, like who topped that index. So these are the three questions I'm actually delivering here. Global Gender Gap Index made by World Economic Forum. India's rank is 127th. Iceland, Norway, Finland. These are the three top countries you need to learn. Then we move to the next point, which is quite different, quite distinct in a manner. I need to speak it this way, that you have not heard much about this. That is the reason this question can be there. India-European Union Connectivity Conference. India-European Union Connectivity Conference under India and European Union Global Gateway Conference at Shillong. What is important? India-European Union Connectivity Conference took place at Shillong. That is what you have to learn. India-European Union Connectivity Conference at Shillong. PM receives the Order of the Nile. If it is Order of the Nile, it has to have something to do with Egypt. So Order of the Nile, highest honor of Egypt. Order of the Nile, highest honor of the Egypt. Highest honor of the Egypt. Now the names of the Prime Minister and the President of Egypt, they become important for you. So PM and President. President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi. Abdul Fattah al-Sisi is the President of Egypt, because our Prime Minister received such an honor, Order of the Nile River, Order of the Nile. It has something to do with Egypt. That is why it is the highest honor of Egypt. Egypt's President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, and the name of the Prime Minister of Egypt, Mustafa Madbuli. Mustafa Madbuli. We are referring to Egypt, and that is why we are talking about it. Now, Strategic Partnership Pact between India and Egypt. Strategic Partnership between India and Egypt. India and Philippines sign MOU on FinTech cooperation. See, they can ask you on FinTech cooperation, which country has signed a pact with us. So that is how you will be answering it this way. That India and Philippines on FinTech cooperation, Strategic Partnership Pact with India and Egypt. Egypt's Prime Minister is Mustafa Madbuli. Egypt's President is Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. And Egypt's Order of the Nile, highest order of Egypt, that is what I meant, was actually given to Prime Minister. India and European Union Connectivity Conference held at Shillong. Gender Gap, Global Gender Gap Index. India is ranked 127th and number one was Iceland. Who prepares it? World Economic Forum. Let's move to the next page. Now the topic is awards and prizes. Awards and prizes. Let's see who received what. And we are actually at Gandhi Peace Prize. Gandhi Peace Prize 21. Gandhi Peace Prize 2021 was given to Gita Press of Gorakhpur. Yes. So Gita Press of Gorakhpur received Gandhi Peace Prize 2021. And as this happens, you have to be aware in a few awards. So what happens is that they may ask you, what did they receive actually? So they received 1 crore, citation, a plaque, traditional handicraft or handloom item along with that. So it is given by Ministry of Culture. That is the reason it is quite important for you, and here it stands the possibility of being there in your exam. Let's start from the first point once again. Gandhi Peace Prize 2021 was given to Geeta Press of Gorakhpur. Geeta Press of Gorakhpur. 1 crore is the prize money along with the plaque, citation, handloom item, and this is given by Ministry of Culture. The next point is 45th European Essay Prize. 45th European Essay Prize. First of all, listen to something carefully. It is essay prize. Alright. 45th European Essay Prize. Quite huge. For lifetime achievement was given to Arundhati Roy. We all know that she is an illustrious writer. She writes very, very well. So she is supposed to get something of that sort. And she has written Azadi. Azadi is her essay collection. For that essay collection, Azadi, she received European Essay Prize for lifetime achievement. Ramchandra Guha, historian, remains in news for one or the other reason, you know that. So Ramchandra Guha received some award. It is Elizabeth Longford Prize. It is Elizabeth Longford Prize for his book Rebels Against the Raj. I'll repeat. I was telling you that Ramchandra Guha wins Elizabeth Longford Award. Elizabeth Longford Award for his book Rebels Against the Raj. So he talks, as he's a historian, he talks about Raj and what kind of Raj I'm referring to, that you are already aware, because we are Indians, we know that. So Rebels Against the Raj, that is what the name of the book is. Ramchandra Guha wrote it and he received Elizabeth Longford Award for it. German Peace Prize 23 was given to Salman Rushdie. He is the man who remains in news for some reasons, quite controversial sort of. But anyway, we are happy that he received such an award. I am going to repeat from the first question. Probably you'll be able to retain them this way. Give me one moment. That's how probably you'll be able to learn them. Gandhi Peace Prize 2021, Geeta Press, Gorakhpur, 1 crore, citation, plaque, handloom item, Ministry of Culture. 45th European Essay Prize to Arundhati Roy, lifetime achievement, for lifetime achievement for her essay collection Azadi. Because if they ask you Azadi, you cannot sing a song over there. For Azadi, you have to tell them it is an essay collection of Arundhati Roy. Ramchandra Guha, historian, Elizabeth Longford Prize was given to Rebels Against the Raj. That's the name of his book. And Salman Rushdie received German Peace Prize 23. Let's move to the next segment. Important days and dates, we can't skip any. The questions are super significant, you know that. Let's see what happens in, what falls in June. We'll start from the first point, which is World Day Against Child Labour, which is celebrated on 12th June, World Day Against Child Labour, because we can't be in favor of child labour. That is why it is against child labour. So World Day Against Child Labour, celebrated on 12th June. The theme was social justice for all, end child labour. That is what everybody wants. Social justice for all, end child labour. That's the theme. International Day of Yoga, 9th numbers, was celebrated this year in the month of June on 21st June. So International Yoga Day is 21st June. We have seen that. It was of 9th numbers. You can even learn that too. And the theme was Yoga for Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. What does it mean? Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. That means world is one family. Everybody is together. We all are one. So world is one family. We are welcoming. We are trying to be welcoming. So that is why we are speaking like that. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. So Yoga for Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam is the theme for Yoga Day. World Refugee Day. See, the main event took place in Jabalpur, MP, that I forgot to tell you. This is the main thing. You can write it down. Because you've seen many leaders doing yoga that, on that 21st June. Why they were doing it, why they were promoting it. It happened here, mainly in Jabalpur, MP. That is what you have to learn. World Refugee Day. Refugee Day, people who are seeking refuge, shelter. So that refugee I'm referring to. So World Refugee Day, 20th June, the theme was Hope Away from Home. Hope away from home. That was the theme for this Refugee Day. People who are seeking shelter, what else they may expect? Hope away from home. So that means away from home, they are expecting some hope. That is why such sort of theme. It is going to convey the message. The theme should be that it should be quite relevant. It happens, that means it is celebrated on 20th June. So World Refugee Day celebrated on 20th June. World Day to combat desertification. Desert, that means where the land is quite barren sort of. Greenery isn't there, that is desert. Quite dry sort of, where rain isn't there. So I'm saying World Day to combat means to fight. We are going to fight desertification. That means we won't let our earth to be a desert. We won't let droughts to be there. No drought, no desertification. Our land will remain fertile because we are going to fight against desertification. See, I'm actually explaining it in detail so that you can learn the name of the day. Otherwise, there is no reason. It is written, you can learn it this way also. World Day to combat desertification and drought. It is celebrated on 17th June and the theme for this year, it was Her Land and Her Rights. I'm going to repeat. World Day Against Child Labour, 12th June. International Yoga Day, 21st June. Yoga for Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam was the theme. World Refugee Day, 20th June. Hope Away from Home. World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought, 17th June. Learn these questions, and if you wish to study from us, the numbers are given below. All the teachers will try their level best to give you all important questions which are going to be there in your concerned exam. So you can join us, the numbers are given below. If you are not willing to speak with any executive, you can actually go to our website, which is online.vidyaguru.in. You can select your course, the one which suits your needs, and you can join from there. If you wish to, take PDFs from us, even that is available on online.vidyaguru.in. You can go and check that out. Let's start from the remaining questions. Now, those students who are actually not writing banking exams can take a break of, some time, a very short while, because these questions are meant for those kids who are preparing for only bank exams. So, bank exams, let's see what is there in bank. What are the questions which are going to be there in general awareness for the banks. So, the Russian bank to introduce something, Indian rupee accounts actually. So, Russian bank to introduce something, Indian rupee accounts they are introducing, and it is like for individuals, and this is SBER Spur Bank, that is what they call it, Russian bank, SBER Spur Bank. I'm saying in Russian bank to introduce Indian rupee accounts for individuals. Project Kuber started by SBI, they may ask you, and the place where they are starting it. Project Kuber is started by SBI in Bengaluru, they may ask you that. That's the name of the project, that's the place, and that's the organization which is behind it. Defense Ministry signs MOU for jobs to ex-servicemen with Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance. See, what happens is that, Defense Ministry is, signing an MOU. It is Memorandum of Understanding. That's how they are providing service to ex-servicemen. It is regarding their jobs. Defense Ministry signs MOU for the jobs of ex-servicemen, and it is happening with Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance. World's #1. But what does it mean when we refer to digital payments? Like, how many payments have happened in India? See, the country is huge, we all know that. The plan was the country should be digital. The payment should take place digitally, that is what I meant. So, how many payments took place? 89.5 million payments. 89.5 million payments took place in 2022, and that's, how India has become that digital. So, world #1 in digital payments, of course, India. But if you look at the payments, between India and Brazil, or maybe in India and China, the difference is huge. So, I'm saying they are not nowhere even close. The digital payments in India were very high. The world #1 in digital payments in India, 89.5 million payments took place in 2022. Credit card by Myntra and Kotak Mahindra, co-branded credit card, that we all know that, such sort of cards are there too. So Myntra and Kotak Mahindra Bank, this is like what? Co-branded credit card. So that is what we are saying. RBI sub office opens in Kohima, Nagaland. You understand that as a student who's preparing for the bank exam, the entire session is important. But for others, you can skip this sort of small part. And what I'm saying is that this Kohima, Nagaland office got opened, and it is RBI's Reserve Bank of India's sub office. So you understand that how important this question is. Let's move to the next question, next point, next topic. Everybody can join from here, and we are moving on to sports updates. So we generally cover this column because the events are so many and we have to cover them step by step. Here we are referring to winner of Khelo India University Games. That means one university won those games, and the place where it took place you need to learn, and the runner-up university you need to learn. I am going to repeat the names one by one. Khelo India University Games took place the third time. So Khelo India University Games took place the third time. Punjab University topped it. Guru Nanak Dev University remained the runner-up. And the mascot was Jeetu. It was discussed earlier as well, and I myself discussed it in some of the videos prior to that when the announcement was made. So what is Jeetu? They may ask you in the exam straight away. Jeetu is a Barasingha. You can call it a swarm deer if you wish to know. Barasingha or swarm deer is Jeetu, because if the mascot is there, some animal is there behind the inspiration that, so those happy faces of those animals, what are actually they? So they are swarm deer. That means Jeetu is a swarm deer. That is what I was trying to say, and it was taking place in UP. I'll repeat. Khelo India University Games took place the third time. Swarm deer or Jeetu was the mascot. Taking place in UP. Punjab University won that, and Guru Nanak Dev University remained the runner-up. Uruguay won FIFA Under-20 World Cup. As it is the World Cup event, you have to learn it carefully. FIFA Under-20 World Cup event beating Italy in Argentina. I'll repeat. Uruguay won that. Italy got defeated. So winner and the runner-up, the venue was Argentina. And what was the event? Football event, that is why FIFA. But what sort of football event? It was Under-19 World Cup, Under-20 World Cup. As you know, it was the event that grand, which is World Cup. You have to learn it carefully. I'll repeat. Uruguay defeated Italy in FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Argentina. Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty won men's doubles title at Indonesia Open. First time it is happening. That is why the question can be there in your exam for sure. Satvik Sai Reddy, Ranki Reddy, Chirag Shetty, two people, two males, won men's doubles. Yes, Indonesian Open. We are referring to badminton. India's first pair to win a Super 1000 event. India's first pair to win a Super 1000 event. That's the reason you have to learn it carefully. India's first pair to win a Super 1000 event. It happened for the first time. That is why learn it carefully. Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty, they won it. Indonesian Opens men's doubles title. Because, stages are there. You know that. That is single. Men's single is there, women's single is there. Here Indians are there. That is why we are more happy. As we are happy, that is why this question is going to be there in your exam for sure. This was happening for the first time. That is why the question is even going to be there in your exam. Egypt won Squash World Championship by defeating Malaysia. So Egypt is the winner. Defeated Malaysia, runner-up in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Because it was taking place in Tamil Nadu, the question can be there in your exam. So Egypt defeated Malaysia. In squash championship, but it was not any sort of championship. It was world championship. Squash world championship took place. Egypt won that, defeated Malaysia in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. I'm going to repeat these questions again. Going to repeat these questions. So winner of Khelo India University Games, Punjab University, they were happening for the third time, defeated Guru Nanak Dev University. Barasingha Swam Deer Jeetu was the mascot, were taking place in UP. Uruguay defeated Italy in Argentina in FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty lifted men's doubles title at Indonesian Open, and Egypt won Squash World Championship by defeating Malaysia in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Let's move to the next question. They seem to be quite boring, but they are going to be there in your exam for sure. You know that government schemes are generally asked. They may ask you the full form, they may ask you the name of the scheme, and probably it is related with what, and what is the outlay, like how much they are going to spend, how much government is going to spend on this scheme. Please be careful when I actually talk about these schemes. Even every minute detail should be there in your notebooks. You have to write them carefully. If you wish to study from us, the numbers are given below. You can dial these numbers, you can get connected with our executives, and you can join us. If you haven't pressed the like button till now, please do that. That's how you can motivate me. That much I expect from my students. Let's move on to the government schemes. Vivad Se Vishwas is the scheme. It is the relief for MSMEs. See, some sort of relief should be given to micro, small, medium enterprises. These are MSMEs affected. We know that for one or the other reason. Vivad Se Vishwas is the scheme for MSMEs. Was first question. Got the extension till, it is valid till 30th June 23 only, which is like just there. So 30th June 23 got wrapped up almost. So that's the last date for it. Like you can claim, claim it, you can file the claim for it till this date only. And Finance Ministry is behind the scheme. Finance Ministry is behind the scheme. That is the reason you have to learn it. So again, Vivad Se Vishwas for MSMEs by Finance Ministry, claim settlement, claim filing till 30th June. Government starts world's largest grain storage plant. Sounds quite cool that grains should be stored. We all know that. So world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector with the expense of 1 lakh crore. But the expense is quite high, that we know that. Outlay expense is quite high, it is 1 lakh crore. They may ask you that if this scheme is there, grain storage, plan is there, that government has in, its mind, then how much they are going to spend. So the money part is quite significant here. Government starts world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector with the expense of 1 lakh crore to empower women entrepreneurs. Business, those women who venture, those who are into businesses of some sort, they wish to, have their own startups, they wish to explore something new. So such sort of women have to be empowered. That is what government has in, its mind. Along with United Nations Development Program, along with UNDP, United Nations Development Program, partners with DNULM. What does it mean? It is Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana. Expanded forms are asked in the exam. Please be firm that you are learning every full form which I am teaching you. So Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, and the next part is National Urban Livelihood Mission. I'll repeat. To empower women entrepreneurs. United Nations Development Program partners with DNULM. What does it mean? That Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, and this is National Urban Livelihood Mission. Livelihoods Mission. That's the full form of this. They are partnering with, because they wish to empower women entrepreneurs. For that reason, it has some term which is 3 years, and the first phase of this will be there in 8 cities. It is the first phase, it is the first edition, it is taking place for the first time, and that is the reason it is going to be there in 8 cities, because they are just beginning with, and the term for it is 3 years. They are empowering women, DNULM, it is related with that. So it is IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. With that insurance regulatory body, that is what I am saying, it is IRDAI. So this IRDAI unveils Bima Vahak. So what is Bima Vahak? It is insurance volunteer, you can call it like that. Bima Vahak insurance volunteer scheme with vision insurance for all by 2047. Every insurance regulatory body, what do they feel? That every person, every citizen, whosoever lives here should have some sort of insurance. So that is why this sort of, vision is there. They have something in their minds while actually coming up with Bima Vahak. So IRDAI unveiled Bima Vahak. It is insurance volunteer, and we are saying the vision here is, the mission here is that insurance for all till 2047. That is what they believe. That is what they assume. Now, a quick revision. Vivad Se Vishwas by Finance Ministry. Government starts world's largest grain storage plant in cooperative sector. The amount they are going to spend is 1 lakh crore to empower women entrepreneurs. UNDP partners with DAY and ULM. IRDA unveils insurance for all by 2047. With this sort of thing, they unveiled Bima Vahak. Let's move to the next point. So the topic is defense news now. So we'll be talking about many exercises. We'll be starting with the first one. It is fourth, multilateral. That means many nations were involved. What happens is, whenever I actually talk about the name of the exercise is MNEK 23, you won't realize that it is a multilateral naval. Quite easy. Multilateral naval. The only difficult word is Komodo. Multilateral naval exercise Komodo 23. You will feel that, nations, the names of the nations should be revealed, but that cannot happen. If multi-nations are there, nations are many, they should not be learned because they are not going to be there in your exam. Examiner does not expect irrelevant or irrational sort of expectations. They don't have from you. They don't expect that much from you. That is what I'm trying to tell you. If you are learning what I've written, it's quite substantial, quite sufficient for your exam preparation. Fourth multilateral naval exercise Komodo is MNEK 23 held at Makassar, Indonesia, and the ship from our behalf, like from our side, on our behalf, took part is INS Satpura. The ship on our behalf took part in Komodo is INS Satpura. Komodo is a naval exercise. They may ask you like what kind of exercise it was. You have to learn that as well. Multinational peacekeeping exercise Conquest. Exercise Conquest. So that's the name of the exercise. It is a peacekeeping exercise, army exercise, and this exercise took place in Mongolia. Missile corvette ship, small ship, corvette. Missile corvette, missile ship, missile corvette INS Kirpan was gifted to Vietnam. I am going to repeat. So I was saying missile corvette INS Kirpan was gifted to Vietnam country. Armado, India's first armored light specialist vehicle. First armored light specialist vehicle, ASLV, made by Mahindra Defence. See what is important here. When we say Armado, they may ask you what is Armado. They have to explain it in a manner where you can tell them what actually Armado is. So Armado is India's first armored light specialist vehicle, ALSV. Armado is ALSV, armored light specialist vehicle, and it was made by Mahindra Defence. That is why even it is more important. So it is India's first, yes. Made by Mahindra Defence, yes. What is it? It is Armado, and the explanation is here as it follows here. New warships, like we are actually referring to new warships, like got inducted. So it is INS Anjadeep, third anti-submarine shallow water craft. They can ask you the details of these warships also. That is why I have written the names carefully. They got inducted. That is the reason their names can be there. So, Sanshodhak and Anjadeep, new warships. Anjadeep and Sanshodhak. So, they'll ask you what are they. So, Anjadeep is third anti-submarine. Submarine is like undersea vehicle. In Hindi it is called Pandubhi. So we are saying third anti-submarine shallow water craft, which is INS Anjadeep, and INS Sanshodhak is fourth survey vessel. fourth survey vessel. It is Sanshodak. I'm going to repeat. Multilateral naval exercise, fourth, which is MNEK, Komodo. It is a naval exercise held at Makassar, Indonesia. The ship on our part took part in this exercise was Satpura. Multinational peacekeeping exercise Khan Quest, attended by army in Mongolia, and INS Kirpan was given to Vietnam. They may ask you what it was. So it was missile corvette. Armado by Mahindra Defence. Anjadeep is anti-submarine shallow water craft, and Sanshodak is fourth survey vessel. Here I'm going to wrap up. If you wish to join us, the numbers are given below. If you haven't pressed the like button yet, please do that. That's how you can motivate me, and I expect at least this much from my students. Thank you so much for watching, and apart from that, all the numbers which are given down there in the description box, you can follow me. The links are there too. Thank you so much.